let's flip back here and continue on with this wild game that we are doing here. So, we're dead?
That was my first thought too. In the old stories, the underworld was where the souls of the deceased were taken. But it was also possible for the living to reach it without dying, if they were particularly fearless. So I'm afraid I don't know.
What can you tell me about Charon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting you're not from here. If you were Roman, or even Greek, you would know these stories. Each of them is slightly different, whether the storyteller was Plato, Homer, Virgil, or Ovid. But they always involved the souls of the dead meeting a grim ferryman named Charon on the bank of a river. It was said that he'd help the new arrival cross, only if they could pay him with a coin, an obol. That's why it was once our custom to bury our loved ones with a coin in their mouths. Charon's obol, we called it. Of course, an obol was a kind of Greek coin, because we inherited this knowledge from the Greeks.
Good thing it's not Karen. We're not the manager around here. This is true. We are not the manager around here. Why didn't you all recognize Charon immediately?
To be fair, the ferryman isn't exactly as the poets described, and he, she, they seem to appear to different people in different guises. You say you saw a young woman named Karen with a hood, and I once heard Kabash mention a stranger in a ram headdress named Kerti, and Rufius described meeting a stranger named Kumut Tabal wearing an eagle headdress. But whatever form this stranger took, they were always wearing a hood of some sort, and their name always began with a K sound. I suspect the only way you'll solve this riddle is if your paths cross again.
Why are there so few people in the underworld?
Good question. Let's see. In the stories, Charon would always require a coin as payment for passage across the river. But that never made any sense to me. What does an ancient immortal being need with coins? In our case, it seems Charon didn't take the coins we had. He or she merely checked we had one in our possession. So, maybe there's something special about the coins each of us had on us. That might explain why we wound up here, but so many others did not.
In this world, you demand to speak to Charon, or Charon's manager. He is Pluto, after all. That's why those two ancient characters needed money. Ooh, there we go. Maybe. Were you trying to keep this from me?
No. I mean, I had my suspicions, especially after Livia's ramblings, but I would never have figured it out without your help. I promise you.
We might not be dead. She said that it's possible for the living to make it to the underworld. So we might not actually be dead. That's all the questions I had.
Now that we know where we are, we have to figure out what to do about it, if we don't want to be cast into gold for eternity. We don't have much to go on, except the old stories. I remember 4 in particular about heroes in the underworld. Hercules, the demigod and son of Jupiter, Orpheus, a Thracian poet, Sisyphus, a king of Ephyra, and Aeneas, a Trojan hero.
Well, we already saw Sisyphus.
Was able to leave the underworld because he cowed its god with his strength. Sisyphus and Orpheus both relied on their wits instead. They persuaded the goddess of the underworld, Proserpina, to help them escape. And finally, Aeneas was able to escape with the help of a spirit guide, who led him through a secret gate. So it seems you have 2 options: to confront the god of the underworld head-on, or find a way to escape with the help of Proserpina.
Oh my goodness! Eliara Drake, thank you very much for those treats. I appreciate that. The Impossible Burger sliders will be delightful. Thank you so much for that. Give me the mythology! Yes, exactly. Can't we escape the way we came in? I noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that? Tell me more about confronting the god of the underworld head on. Tell me about escaping with the help of Prosperina or a guide. I noticed you seem uncomfortable calling the god of the underworld by his name. Why is that?
All Romans try to avoid saying it, and the reason is quite simple. He might hear us. You may refer to him as Pluto, if you wish, but you'll only be calling attention to yourself. Do so at your own peril.
Good to know. Can't we just escape the way we came in?
It's a reasonable question, but the problem is, this place is fairly well designed to keep us here. There's no way to climb up the shaft. And even if you could build a ladder big enough, just trying it would break the golden rule. We know that, thanks to the writings left behind by those who've tried.
Tell me more about confronting Pluto head on.
Shh! Is everyone so blunt where you're from? That option would be the boldest, but also the only way to learn the truth about the golden rule, and maybe even put an end to it. As I said, Hercules managed to overpower the god of the underworld, but he was a demigod. Forgive my candor, but you are no Hercules.
Hercules couldn't manipulate time or turn organic matter into gold. I have a few tricks up my sleeve. It's not like we can manipulate time either, really, but I have a few tricks up my sleeve.
I admit, you do seem different to anyone I've ever met. And even that lamp of yours looks like something Prometheus might have stolen from the gods. So, if you want to confront him, I'll help you as much as I can. Who knows? Perhaps your name will be uttered in the same sentence as Hercules one day. But first, you'd need an audience with you-know-who, and for that, you'll need to enter the great temple overlooking the city. The problem is, the door has been
We are not
shut
buff, man.
for as long as I've lived here, and there doesn't even seem to be a keyhole. I suspect the answer lies in the desecrated obelisk in front of it. I'm not sure if you noticed, but there are 4 plaques missing from its base. It looks as though somebody, or a series of somebodies, forcibly removed them, and in doing so, dishonored and angered our divine keeper. If you could recover and replace all 4 of those missing plaques, I imagine he might be willing to receive an audience again.
What can you tell me about the obelisk?
It's the towering stone monument with 4 sides and a pyramid-shaped head that stands before the great temple, a dedication to the god of this place. You'll find them all over Rome, but of course they were looted from Egypt many years ago. It seems one of them made its way here too, although how is a mystery. However, this one is unusual in that each of the 4 sides is decorated in a different style: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and another I don't recognize.
Okay.
That means you'll need to recover 4 different plaques: Roman, Greek, Egyptian, and a 4th, a mystery plaque.
Yes, a fetch quest. A Herculean task. Alrighty.
Good question. To answer that, we first need to ask who would have defaced the obelisk in the first place. It would have had the god's name engraved into it, so it may be that whoever desecrated it wanted that name to be forgotten. And there's only one group of people I know of who might want to do that. There's a cult in Rome that often argued there is only one true god. Theirs, of course. They've been known to start fires, as well as deface religious monuments whose existence challenged their beliefs. If I were you, I'd go looking for them. Of course, they've all been in hiding since the fire last year, so finding them won't be easy.
Alright.
But I did hear a rumor they have a secret shrine somewhere in the city. Perhaps, if you could find that, you might be able to recover the Roman plaque.
And we've already run into several members of the Christian cult, which, for anybody who is not historically aware, they were referred to as a cult in Roman times, while it was still a small organization. Where would I find the Greek plaque?
I don't know. But perhaps you should begin your search with the local Greek fellow, Georgius. His store is in the forum.
Ask Dooley about the Greek plaque. Interesting. How would I find the Egyptian plaque?
Perhaps Kabash, our Egyptian resident, would be able to tell us. Unfortunately, he disappeared weeks ago. But I did hear Aurelia is peddling rumors about him at the tavern, so perhaps you could talk to her, or just take a look in his room.
Ask Aurelia about Kabash? Why did it get crossed out?
I'm afraid you're on your own with that one. But perhaps finding the other three will illuminate the way.
Alrighty, let's talk about something else. Tell me about escaping with the help of Prosperina or a guide.
As I mentioned, both Orpheus and Sisyphus were said to have persuaded Proserpina to help them escape, and Aeneas was guided to the exit. The problem is, those are the stories of a poet, a self-aggrandizing king, and a brawler about their own heroic deeds, so they should be taken with a grain of salt. First, Proserpina. What we do know about her is, well, it's a grim tale. It's said the god of the underworld abducted and dragged her here against her will, forcing her into marriage.
That's horrible. So she might be willing to work against him to help us. That's horrible.
It is. The gods are a mirror image of mankind, as far as cruelty is concerned, I'm afraid. If the stories are true, I imagine she's as desperate to escape as we are. If she really did help Orpheus and Sisyphus, perhaps she'll help us too. The problem is, how do we communicate with her without being noticed by her captor? Leaving that aside for a moment, there is also the possibility of a spirit guide. I don't suppose you've come across one of those in your travels?
I hear the female statues whispering to me every now and then.
Truly? And you're only bringing this up now? Then again, I suppose you were worried I'd think you were as mad as Navia. Can you tell me more? Is it the same voice? What kinds of thing does it say?
Yeah, this is the spin that they seem to be taking, or at least what she seems to be taking. That's not to say that that's the spin that they will always take on the story, because we've learned that each of these characters definitely has individual ideas about everything that's going on. So, yeah. In the original myths, that was not the case, yeah. The abduction story wasn't a thing until far later. She originally was just the goddess of death and stop. It's possible. It could be the voice of Proserpina. Interesting. All right, it's always the same voice, and she's helpful, if a little cryptic.
Fascinating. Perhaps she's a benevolent spirit, or perhaps, perhaps you're hearing the voice of Proserpina herself. If she has indeed been abducted, it would make sense for her to speak in cryptic whispers to avoid detection. Tell me, has she told you anything that might lead you to the way out?
Not yet.
Oh, I see. Well, let me know if you hear anything that might be a thread through this labyrinth.
All right, I'm ready to get started.
All right. I would suggest not discussing this with anyone. The best we can do for them is to let them remain oblivious for as long as possible. As for Livia, it seems she's been shouldering the weight of this terrible secret all this time. Perhaps it would comfort her to know she's not alone.
I'll have a chat with Livia first. I will look for each of the plaques, or I will start listening for more whispers. I will have a chat with Livia first.
In any case, time is of the essence, so you'd best begin. May Fortuna guide you, although you may not need her with Proserpina on your side.
All right. And that is So that is the place where we entered here. Wade against the current, it says. Now we talked to her and she got mad at us? Oh, were you thinking of Nevia? Yeah, Livia is the soothsayer. Yeah, it's so good, right? I'm also just thinking about all of the things that we kind of have to take care of all at once when we do what's going to end up being our final run, right? Because we are going to have to stop the assassin. We're going to have to save the woman in the Temple of Apollo. We're going to have to treat what's-his-face for his rheumatism.
Hilarious.
You,
Gracious.
Sisyphus,
Looking a bit
attack
troubled
or
there.
pursue the stone that always returns.
Slept right 3 weeks.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Just as the
From what
ocean
I hear,
accepts the
nobody
rivers
saw it
of all the
coming.
world,
Anyway, I
so
thought you
this
stoics
place
weren't supposed to worry
accepts
about
all the
things you can't control.
souls. But it does not notice the crowds
Do it,
that
Tipsy
come.
Tiger. Do it.
What if she's out there somewhere suffering?
What's your story?
Sounds like
The
you're talking
bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Get some rest.
Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives.
Fair enough. Do you know a way out of here?
There is only a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions.
I see. What do you think about the Golden Rule?
The bloodless shadows. This is their punishment.
Right. I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
You were.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
Maybe. Yes. Let's hear about the Metamorphoses.
I will do my best to remember the relevant verse. There is a downward path, gloomy with fatal yew trees. It leads through dumb silence to the infernal regions. The sluggish Styx exhales vapor, and by that way, the shadows of the newly dead descend, entombed with full rites, and the ghosts of those, at last, given proper burial. The wide, thorny waste is cold and pallid, and the newly arrived shades are ignorant of the road that leads to the Stygian city, where Black Dis has his cruel palace. As the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all the souls, and is never too small for any populace, nor notices the crowds that come. There the bloodless shadows wander without flesh or bone. Some crowd the forum, some the house of the ruler of the depths. Others follow their trades, imitating their previous lives. And still others incur punishment. I hope I have done it justice, and now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
All right. We have
Don't you just love
resolved
springtime.
Proof
Wow.
of degenerate
her
life.
lead.
Isn't that a big long bow? Ah, you're here. I'm so glad you decided to visit. I'm Aurelia, and I hope I'm not being too forward, but the moment I laid eyes on you, I was intrigued. There's a light in your eyes I've never seen before, a certain learning and sophistication.
Does she remind anybody else of Claudia Black? I'm getting strong vibes from Claudia Black for this character. And you're as charming as you are beautiful. Oh, stop it. No, please go on. Not interested. Sorry. Don't waste your breath. I know you're a horrible person. Don't make the bow spicy. It's Diana's bow, like. Let's see. Shall we return the charm? I know it's very aggressive. The cleaning is very aggressive that's going on here.
Ugh, coming on a bit strong, don't you think?
What? You came on to me!
I take back what I said. Suddenly, I don't find you so intriguing anymore.
Well,
Let's
fine.
just forget that ever happened, so we can at least do business.
Smooth talker.
What brings you to my tavern?
I'll be going now.
All right, see ya.
Alright, so all the men are leaving for the election, which means I am gonna head for the portal because we don't have a way to stop the election right now, which means the election is going to go badly, and if I can not sprint all the way across the map in a panic, that would be preferable. Diana is sitting there like, I mean... Exactly. Exactly. Yes, the election is on. The election is happening. All of you out there. Hello. Why is my door going off? It was not snacks. It was too early for snacks. That's why I was confused. However, running up and down the stairs. A horrible time. What it was my Ray's Insiders box. Where does that zip line go? Where does that zip line go? The palace, maybe, I guess? Also, we've got a couple of minutes left on that poll. So, if you have an interest in the Stream Raiders path, goes to Etsy to find Artemis or Diana pendant. That would be a lot of fun. See, stuff is happening and I'm like, I want to go explore, except I want to stay here. Because I don't want to have to run all the way across the map when stuff goes bad. But I want to explore. It's very challenging. Can I can get over here. That's fun. I don't know what to do at this point. I think if I have my menu open, when the golden arrows fly down, yes. I also don't know how to get into the cistern yet. There we go.
Many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
There we go. It's like, when is it happening? He just like spawns here. He doesn't even like run all the way from the forum. He just spawns here. Alrighty. Back we go. We try again. Yeah, yeah. All right. Here is our guy.
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and what you're doing with that bow on your back?
We've had this conversation before, or I need you to take care of some things urgently.
Oh, sounds serious. I'm listening.
Rufius is becoming agitated because of his rheumatism. If you give him some of this willow bark, it will calm him down. I need you to stop Fabia entering the empty shrine. Tell the new arrival he'll find what he's looking for in there. So we can do any of these. But this one seems like it's the most time intensive. So let's send him to Yulia's side.
Yulia? Oh no. Alright, I can do that.
Oh. Can I have him do all of these things?
My uncle was a victim at rheumatism's altar, and he ended up killing himself. Alright, got it. Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival to the empty shrine. Understood.
Now, go as fast as you can.
I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
That's great that I can actually send him on all of those tasks at once. That's very helpful. Alright, so with those tasks taken care of, who do we want to go talk to? We need to figure out how to get into the upper cistern. We need to figure out how to get Malleus to drop out of the thing. Okay. So, next up, we're going to focus on Ulpius here. Which means we need to get up to the bluff. I know you need my help.
Ixion turns. Just as the ocean accepts the rivers of all the world, so this place accepts all
Dr.
souls.
Theme plays, yes.
But it does not notice the crowds that come.
I figured it out. I know where we are.
Say it. Speak its name.
The underworld.
Then it is true. I was right.
You were.
I thought I saw it, but when the rest of them could not, I kept thinking I must have gone insane. I had to tell myself it was true over and over again, until I wasn't sure if I was deceiving myself. I must apologize if my words seem cryptic. I'd found comfort in reciting the Metamorphoses by our great poet Ovid. He gives such an uncanny description of this place. I cannot help but wonder if he himself came here. Would you like to hear it?
I just realized I have to be somewhere. We've already heard it. Yeah.
I understand. Such things are not for everyone. But I thank you nonetheless. And now we share a secret. It's as if you've lifted a great burden from my shoulders. Thank you, friend. I think I should rest.
Yeah, it's nice that we can just go to her and be like, I already know. I already know the thing that you are dealing with. It's all right.
Salve, Rufius. I hear you've been suffering from rheumatism. Sorry to hear about that, friend.
What? My condition is nobody's business but mine.
There's no need for that. I just wanted to give you this willow bark to help you treat it.
A treatment?
That's fun. I like that we have the opportunity to, like, walk past that interaction. How do I get over there? Okay. This game is gorgeous. And, like, on top of that, I actually turned down the graphics settings because it was just eating through my processor. And so I turned down the graphics settings. Look, Sisyphus. Remember how we talked about Sisyphus? And so, like, even with the turned down graphics settings, it's still really beautiful.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a ghastly thing, is it not? How are you faring so far?
We do need to talk to her. Because we know that she's a Christian. But for now, I'm going to focus on Ulpius for this round.
I look forward to getting to know you better over the coming months. And if you ever...
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there. If you lose your balance, you'll fall.
That's the idea.
What? Why? Why would you want that?
Why do you think I'm stuck for the rest of my life working for a man who treats me like an animal?
I know things are hard for you right now. They're hard for all of us. We're all in this together, Ulpius. Please, please just think this through. If you do this, it could be the sin that seals all of our fates. Is that what you want?
I'm sorry, but I just don't care anymore.
Please, Ulpius. Help him. If he goes through with it, it could be the end for us all. I don't know what to do. I've never had to deal with this sort of thing. Please, you need to talk to him.
All right, I'll talk to him.
Thank you. And please, choose your words carefully.
Is this what Scintilla would want? I forget which track got us farther the last time.
You know about that? How is that possible? I mean, I've never mentioned it to anyone.
You wrote graffiti on the wall, dude.
Well, if you say so. You don't understand. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want it all to be over.
Maybe I can help solve your problem.
It's too late for that. Yulia and I made a pact. And she's already swallowed hemlock this morning. If I backed out now, I'd be betraying her.
You wrote it in public.
I can't do that.
Lucretia was able to get some Sylphilim in time to save her life. She's going to be fine.
Oh, really? That changes things a little. But we're still in debt bondage to that monster. Unless you happen to have 2,000 denarii to pay off both of our debts.
Actually, I do.
Really? Wait. So, I guess you'd want me to work for you then?
No, you'd be free.
You'd do that for us? A couple of complete strangers?
Of course.
It seems today we are both blessed. This did not turn out how I thought. Thank you, friend. I never thought people like you existed.
Here's your money.
Thank you. I'll go and pay off our debts immediately. I just wish there was some way I could repay you. But I have nothing but the tunic on my back.
Don't worry about it.
I'll go and take care of things with Malleolus and tell Yulia the good news. Thanks again, friend. I'll never forget what you did for us.
This is going to be a slight problem if I can't finish this in one go. I urinated into Meliodas' villa from above and got away with it. Ah, funny. How can we pass this test if we don't know the rules? Yeah, so slight problem. Do we have a save point? Potentially. Because I don't know how to get more coin. We may end up having to go through the palace again. That may be the thing. Unless, like, it respawns. Okay, so it does respawn. This is the one that I was thinking about before. But the way that we got, like, all of the coin before to stop the debt was by going through the palace. Which is where all of the creepy statues were, remember?
I hope you're coping.
A fountain producing fresh water, which is coming from the aqueduct behind it. If water can enter the city via the aqueducts, perhaps there's a way to escape through them. Can't climb, though. Thanks, I'm coping just fine, I think. Yeah. So we learned before that she was ready to take her life because of how Malleolus was treating her. I don't know what building this is. What do you think this is? Skyrim? Wait. Exactly. I love that I can just barge into his house now. Because I have his key.
Deeply honored to... Domitius doesn't usually let anyone in here without a hefty tribute, so you must have been desperate to see me. Well, what do you want?
I want you to withdraw from the election. I don't know if we can do that yet.
Are you insane? You barge into my villa, uninvited, and then make outrageous demands? Why would I withdraw from an election I'm bound to win?
Because as soon as you win, you're going to break the golden rule. We know he doesn't believe in it. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill you. Never mind. We haven't tried bluffing him. But the last time we threatened somebody, it broke the golden rule. So...
You are acting very strangely.
We may just not have the right dialogue options for him yet.
My name is Marcus Malleolus Gurgius. You seem to have confused me with someone else. You mean my heterochromia? I am guilty of nothing more than having different colored eyes. And I'm hardly the only person with the condition. Alexander the Great had it too, as it happens. I like to think it is simply the way the gods have chosen to mark a natural-born ruler. Nothing more.
Alright. Apparently, Gwyndicus also suffers from delusions of grandeur.
Well, I am not suffering from any delusions, as today's election will firmly establish.
I can't prove it's you yet, but I will.
Unlikely, because it simply isn't true. Now, was there something else you wanted?
I'll be going now.
I trust you can see yourself out.
Sure. We'll see ourselves out. Okay, bye, but I'm gonna get you. Yes. Also, we can ask him about the plaques. Which is interesting. I'm looking for a document that I can interact with, but I'm not finding one. Also, I assume that there is a point at which I can speak to his wife? who is up here crying in a room. But we have to figure out how to trigger that bit of information.
You again. What is it now?
Any idea where I could find a Roman plaque?
Look, if I had a Roman plaque in my possession, I'd be happy to sell it to you, but I don't, so I can't.
Fair enough. I'll be going now.
I trust you can see yourself out.